right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to welcome everyone here to the State of Synth. My name is Dennis G.
And I'm Neon Fawkes.
Mr. Neon Fawkes, how you doing, man? Another week. We are here.
Yes, another week. I got internet issues today, so hopefully my router stays up for this show.
I have good vibes,
I'll
man.
be tethering to my phone.
And we don't want that. We want good quality jewels. We don't want iPhone or iPad jewels because we're all about quality here at the State of Synth. So,
and I can't get into the IRC.
And you can't get...
I can see everybody in there, but I can't see anything.
Oh, my gosh. It happens, man. It happens. But I tell you what, if you guys are listening, feel free to hop in the IRC if you're able to get into it, say hi, and we will give you guys shout-outs because that's what we do.
We are live. If you're listening on YouTube, go ahead and say hi in the YouTube chats. We'll shout out your name.
Yeah, and speaking of people in the IRC, Jules, I don't even know if you knew, but we had our IRC blow up today. Did you find out what happens?
Why I can't. That explains why I can't.
Yeah.
What do you mean, like blow up as in...
No, not blow up, but blow up because basically we got put on a hacker... message board or something like that, and we got flooded with all kinds of people, not really, bad hackers, but I guess good hackers, because you can have good hackers, right? Or maybe we got the gray hats or the white hats. I don't know, because we're still standing, we're still broadcasting, which is good, but we had a ton of people. It was not in Night Ride, though. It was in Wrecked, so we had a ton of people in the Wrecked IRC, and they're still over there now, and it's cool. We went a little viral, and that was always fun, and then I went over there, and I told them to listen to Night Ride, because we can always use more hackers in our
Speaking
IRC.
Of chats, by the way.
Yeah.
Let's throw some shout-outs real quick.
Let's do it.
Because we've got our buddy Rex Balls in the chat.
Go Rex.
Exodus 5150's in there. Runin's in there. Dread. Kit has joined the IRC chat. Must be late for her.
Yeah.
Our buddy Craig Packman is working and lurking.
Indeed.
Driving down in Perth, Australia. Yeah.
Mr. 3, did we give a shout out to Mr. 3?
Yeah, Mr. 3, he's in the chat as well as IRQ Conflict. And our buddy Dysterian, all the way from Poland.
Indeed. Can't join.
Oh, wait.
Apparently joined.
Vasto.
That's all right.
Our friendly Romanian producer.
And speaking of Vasto got woken up this morning. He was sleeping, and they said, yo, the IRC is hopping. You got to do a show. So Vasto actually ended up doing like an early day show. He was still half asleep. He's like, all right, let's do this. But Vasto's a good sport. How was your week, man? Was things good? Busy?
Yeah. Things are, I mean, things are busy. I'm back at work these days, so I have to do catch up. But
oh yes, no more synth vacation, man. It's all back to the real deal.
Feels like a dream, that neon event down in Tampa.
It was. I finally got my system glitch because I think I told you that I had absolutely no room in my backpack. I couldn't fit a single thing in my backpack, so what I did was I actually had the people from Neon Retro Fest, they went and they mailed me my System Glitch vinyl.
Nice.
I got it signed by Mr. System Glitch himself, and it just came the other day, and I was having a little bit of a music festival. It was wonderful, Jules. I drank.
I saw your vinyl.
Yes.
Drinks and vinyls.
I was trying to do
the day.
I was trying to do an Alpha Chrome Yayo, and I was trying to compete with him because he does his thing. Is like, I'm gonna make this wonderful meal, and it's full of like ingredients that I can't pronounce, and it's looks like it's, honestly like the cover of a recipe book, and like I can't compete with that. So I was like, I can make alcohol because that's like what I do. So I made some Moscow Mules, which was nice in celebration of our wonderful guest we had on last week, Polytame. So I had some Moscow Mules, and I had some synthwave vinyl, and it was a really nice weekend. Nice rainy day, but I just jammed out with some good tunes, man.
Cool. Oh, by the way, a quick shout out to Steve, who joined us in the IRC.
Nice.
As well as Hi, who is otherwise known as Labyrinthine Complexities.
Well, very good. It's nice to see.
Barracuda just joined too.
Barracuda. Speaking of Neon Retrofest, it was a wonderful experience meeting Barracuda. It's so nice to meet all the people that came out to see the show and support the show, and of course be there for all the fun craziness that we had in Neon Retrofest. Neon Retrofest 2024. You got to keep your eye out for it. I'm hoping that it's going to go down.
Crossed.
It's going to be bigger, better than ever.
And by the way, you were talking about System Glitch, who's got to replace the E with a 3 in his name.
He does, yes.
That brings me to, I can't wait to speak to our guest tonight.
I am
Beta Blocker with a 3.
So stoked. I love these guys. I heard about them from Arcade High, and the minute that I started playing their music, I was like an instant fan. I'm like, oh my god, we got to get these guys on the show. So I am totally stoked. Before we bring them on the show, though, we do have a couple great tracks that we're going to play for you guys.
Oh, yeah.
And in fact, the first one, how do we pull this one off here? I don't even know.
Well, so our buddy Shadowrunner over in LA, he's got a new single dropping this Friday, and he sent a submission to the Night Ride site.
Amazing.
And originally he didn't want it played until it's released, but I sent him a message today begging him if we could premiere it, because it's awesome.
Good sir,
so
please
this
maybe
track,
play your song early, please, good sir.
So it features the vocal talents of Trenton.
Oh,
as
it's
well
a
as
Trenton track.
Joe, yeah, as well as Joe Berry from M83 on sax.
What?
So yeah, let's play this.
The M83
the
guy? Oh my god.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, I'm totally sick for this.
The song's a soliloquy from one of the last 2 people on Earth from the movie Oblivion.
Ooh.
So here it is. This is Shadowrunner with Immortal right here on Night Ride FM.
All right, and that was Shadowrunner with Immortal. And man,
vocals of Trenton and Joe Barry from M83 on the sax.
God, that is...
Shadowrunner doesn't mess around with his collabs.
He doesn't. He's done some really sick collabs. He's done work with System Glitch, Primo.
Yep.
Just so many awesome. And Trenton's like one of my favorite vocalists in the scene. In fact, he's pretty huge. In fact, I was just talking off air. I think he's done some stuff for some of the shows that my wife watches on Netflix, which, like, I don't know why, but she's been watching all these reality shows like it's like 1994. Like, she's watching these shows like she's never seen a reality show before. Like, it's crazy. And I know I believe he's done a track or two, and it's a fun show. And I don't know, it's very weird though. She's going through every single episode of every single season, and now she's into the UK season. And I don't know, I can't hang with it too much, Jules. It's too much beefcake for me, man. It's too much.
By the way, there seems to be issues with the IRC. So if you can't join the IRC, but you want to type and talk, jump over to our YouTube.
IRC.
YouTube, what is it? YouTube.com/NightRideFM, I think.
I wonder if Voice is on. Maybe Voice is on. I don't even know. Kid, Snugs Kid, if Kid is listening, let me know. Is it voice only? I don't even know, because there's like an IRC thing where it's got to be voiced, and when it's voiced, you can't talk unless you're voiced. Can you just voice everyone?
This is a join problem. People are joining.
Oh, that's the join problem. Yeah,
I think we need
the hackers, man.
Bounce.
It's the hackers. The hackers messed it up.
By the way, quick shout out to Sparkly Sci-Fi, who's in the IRC chat.
Sparkly Sci-Fi.
And Wonka Akbar, as well as Q, the developer.
Nice.
And Johnny 5.
Hey, Johnny 5. Nice.
Yeah, Johnny 5 is alive.
Very nice. All right, well, again, if you can log in, that's great. If not, hop over to our YouTube, because we give shout-outs to YouTubers as well. So that's a wonderful thing that we do. All right. So we're going to do one more track, and then we're going to bring our wonderful guests on, and I'm like so stoked.
Yeah.
It's going to be super awesome. But we do have another awesome tune. And yeah, man, this is a dope track. Do you want to go ahead and set this one up, Mr. Fawkes?
Sure. So UK artists Wolf Club are back with a brand new single out on the new Retrowave label, and I'm loving this one. The sound harkens back to their Summer Light single, if you remember that one. And I'm all for it. So this is it. This is Wolf Club with Crystallize right here on Night Ride FM.
And that was Crystallize by Wolf Club. Yeah, dude, I like that track, man.
Sounds so much like Summer Lights.
It does. Who is the vocalist for that? That's not...
I think Summer Lights was Indigo.
That was Indigo for Summer Lights, but is Indigo back for this track?
This time. I'm looking at the Bandcamp page, and it doesn't say who's singing.
Oh, interesting.
So,
Very interesting.
Mystery.
Indeed. So, yeah, 2 banger songs, and we're ready to bring on our wonderful guest. Before we do, any new people getting into the IRC?
Mobius tried to join the IRC. I don't know if he's listening, but shout out to Mobius. And of course,
get points for trying.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on, man. The IRC is popping. It was popping this morning, and like it was just like a mad flood of people coming in. And yeah, we got on like a hacker, you know, the old Bibnet or something. We got on something, and like all of a sudden, all these hackers poured in, and you know, we're all about our hackers. We love our hackers. You know,
maybe we'll get as popular as what is it, Lo-Fi Girl and
Hi-Fi
maybe Boy or whatever.
Yeah, something like that.
All right,
boy can dream. Yeah, let's bring on our guest. What do you think? I'm totally stoked.
Hells yeah.
We have 2 members that make up the awesome band producer project named Beta Blocker, and their names are Ryan and Chris. So we would like to ask for a nice big round of applause for Ryan and Chris. Hey
guys.
What's going on? I say project, band. I don't know what to call you guys. What are you guys? I don't even know.
Initiative.
Good question.
Yeah.
You are a musical...
an entity.
Like you're an act.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Entity.
Yeah, it's evolved because we definitely started out as like a producer duo, but I mean, it's kind of tricky because we do write stuff that's our own as a band. So I've just never really called us that, but I guess we are.
Very good. It's just you, Ryan, and Chris. I'm not going to be able to tell you guys apart for the first 15 minutes because I'm like terrible with that. But is it just you guys? Do you guys bring, which we'll talk about later on? I know that I've read that you guys do some stage stuff, you know, live playing. Or is that just me making shit up, basically?
We've been entirely studio for like the last decade.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I've got a background with live music and performing, but yeah, this has been purely a studio
so
project.
So it's a studio
thus far.
project. Okay.
Although, yeah, we have
little something.
Plans or aspirations for doing something pretty cool, but right now we're really just focusing on getting music released and written.
Yeah, and that's definitely the name of the game. You have to have the music to, I guess, play it live. It's kind of like
true. That is a good component, you know.
But you guys are killing it, man. Like you guys, you don't have a full album out, but I know you like eke out singles and different things. And in fact, you got some stuff coming up and some just stuff that you just released, and everything that you guys drop is just straight like heat, man. It's just straight heat. Like I just love your sound. It's got like a very polished. Now you guys have like I went on some of your sites and everything like that. Now you describe yourself as like a electronic, which obviously yes, new disco funk. I hear a little bit of the synthwave elements in my own ears, a little bit of that retro sound. So you guys kind of like have a very broad sound that can kind of appeal to really anybody that just has a pulse, basically.
Oh yeah, we have a lot of influences, and depending on the era or the track we're working on, we kind of lean into, you know, more synthwave, more pop, more electronic. We have like a wide gamut of sounds that we like to do. We like to think there's some type of unifying thing. We don't really know what that is exactly, but
I think it's the funk.
Do you guys like do rock paper scissors and decide which decade you want to tackle?
It's like, it's, you know what it is that I think because all of our influences are, you know, they span like decades, and so it's just one of those things where you just kind of listening and you're like, that's really sick. I like how they did, the groove on the guitars on this track, like, and then you're kind of like, how would we do a modern version of that? How would you adapt something? And so we try to, like, we don't want to reiterate the things that have been done. We want to do a newer version of it. And I think that's the kind of thing that unifies it, is whatever that thing that we think makes it modern, our twist on it. I think that's the one thing that ties it together, but I honestly could not tell you what that is.
That's in my opinion, that's part of the DNA of what synthwave is all about. Like, we have a very broad terminology of what that is. I mean, first of all, it's built on nostalgia, but also part of the nostalgia is hearing all the music. And I'm sorry, I think 80s, 70s, if it's retro, it's retro.
The way I look at it, for me, like, everybody, especially in the synthwave scene, every year there's an argument that busts out on Twitter or something about synthwave isn't synthwave anymore, this, that, and the other. First of all, sounds have to evolve, but for me, anything that twinges memories, like nostalgia, if you hear a certain production technique or a certain instrument or a certain synth that reminds you of like 1975 or 1995, to me, that's synthwave.
Right. Yeah, and it's not defined heavily.
It's definitely a component in our sound. Like, we listen to a lot of synthwave, so it's definitely like or music that inspired a lot of synthwave music. So and we definitely
I would say we listen to more the stuff that influenced modern synthwave than actual modern synthwave.
Yeah, I think that's most some of the best synthwave artists. I mean, wasn't it The Midnight who said, like, don't mimic other synthwave artists, or was it Ollie Ride? Said, like, look to the roots.
Yeah.
Right. And
absolutely.
And if you want to build something or pay tribute to something, look to the roots back from yesteryear.
Yeah, you gotta cut right to the source, and that's what it's all about. And then you need to interpret that into the thing that you do, and then that's what makes what you do special, instead of trying to emulate this person or that person or whoever. But your sound is, like, completely unique. It's retro. For me, it's funky as all hell. Like, that's what I like the most about. As you could tell, the people that listen to our show, we like our Droid Bishop. Yeah. We like our funky Starcadian.
Bow wow wow yippee you yippee yay.
Oh,
bow
yeah.
wow yippee you yippee yay.
Even Thought Beans, which they're coming out with, like, kind of like a it's almost like a street corner Parliament funkadelic kind of vibe, and they're just slaying it with, like, just some strange and badass sounds that it's like it's wonderful, because I feel like it really keeps things fresh and keeps the genre evolving, and to me it broadens it as well, like listening to things even that, like, make it into, like, the pop realm, or the synth pop or the funk, all these, like, EDM, like, if it can branch out, to me, and gain some listeners, it's almost like a gateway. Like, you guys are out there kind of like on the edges and introducing people to, like, these retro sounds. That's how I got started listening to synthwave, because I was listening to Daft Punk, I was listening to M83, and I was even bands like Chromeo. Like, I'm like, what the hell is Chromeo? Like, I wouldn't say that they're synthwave, but they're retro.
On the hard side, Justice.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, totally.
And then I'm like, I discovered it. And I was like, whoa, It was amazing once you discover this scene, and it's a wonderful thing.
Those bands also, like, they opened up a lot of pathways, because they kind of, like, popularized those sounds, right?
Absolutely.
And so people started looking at that sort of music as having a resurgence, and then but they had their own twist on it. And in the case of, like, Chromeo, like, if you remember their early stuff, it was, like, almost more comedic,
Yeah.
Like, there was this, like,
little
tongue-in-cheek aspect.
Yeah,
oh, very much. Like, their keyboard, the stand of their keyboard was like women's legs. Like, it was
totally. Yeah.
incredible.
Or the track Tenderoni, like, it was definitely.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I
remember
love those guys
hearing
so
that
much.
stuff like when I was in high school and like thinking this is awesome.
But it was really good. Like it was still, even though it was tongue in cheek, it grooved and it was good. It
Absolutely.
had both elements, and then I feel like they kind of, it's still a little bit tongue in cheek, but yeah, their stuff just kept getting sicker and sicker.
Yeah, but those guys are awesome musicians.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
And so like that kind of sort of respect, I think the sort of underlying thing with a lot of bands that I really like who kind of like touch on these sounds, they all seem to really like musicianship. Like I notice they're really into like bass groove and like this sort of like funk and sort of rhythmic aspects of the kind of music. It's not just always like car chase music, right? It's not
Right.
just that. That's cool too, but like it's not just that. There's something else going on.
There's
And
more
I think-
besides sirens.
Yeah.
I like that subgenre of car chase music, dude.
Car chase
I
music
do
is
like-
great, except when you're driving a car. That's the only
And
time.
you hear the sirens and your head's whipping around. Like, what the heck?
Yeah. I've definitely had that happen when a song has sirens in it, and I like for a second I take a beat. I'm like, oh shit, is there?
I hit the brakes and I'm just like,
Yeah.
You look at your speedometer, like, oh god.
Yeah, especially because if you're listening to that music and you're driving, let's just say you're not operating within the legal limits.
Right.
No, you are
Like,
definitely putting the
what-
pedal
what
down.
Yeah.
speed
Yeah,
you should
for
be
sure.
going, yeah.
Feel the need for speed.
But I tell you what though, speaking of funk, we gotta just drop one track. We're gonna drop 3 tracks from you guys, but I am totally stoked to play this first track.
This little track.
This is amazing. This is one of my favorite tracks on Spotify. This is where now what's up with the Bandcamp, man? What's up with that, guys?
Yeah, hey, Bandcamp, what? Hey,
Is it not uploaded on there?
We want to drop some
we
cash,
can't find you guys on Bandcamp.
Yeah, dude, we actually, I don't know why we don't have a Bandcamp. That's a good
Wait,
question.
All right.
yeah.
We're gonna
I
get
guess
you
we'll
signed
have to
up.
look into that.
because we have a lot of people. I'm telling you, they're gonna listen to this stuff. They're gonna want to just like straight up just buy this stuff. It's great.
Buy.
I mean, you know, the Spotify's great too. You know, but
Yeah, some of us are DJs. We need the MP3s.
yeah, we need to. That's absolutely. So,
We gotta throw money.
throw money
the
at
MP3.
this
You
thing,
guys have
man.
opened our eyes. What can I say?
Yeah, just for you guys.
We're seeing the light.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yes, money
So
opens
this-
all doors.
This little track has got almost 10 million listens.
Yeah, this track is like
I'm
just
looking at
straight
it on
fire.
Spotify right now. It's like 9. No, yeah, it's almost 10 million.
10 million. Oh my god.
Is that all you, Dennis?
Yes, I have been listening. I'm not gonna lie, I've been
Thank
listening
you,
to it
Dennis.
on repeat for sure. Not
Yeah, it's
not.
jumped a lot in the last couple weeks, you know.
Wow, that's incredible.
Hopefully it jumps some more after tonight.
All right, so we're gonna drop this track here. This is amazing. Do you want to talk about the track a little bit before we play? It's called "In My Head." It's gonna be the first track that we play. Anything? When did it
yeah.
come out?
Yeah.
What was the
There-
vibe?
Yeah. We got a lot to say about that track. That was an interesting song to write. We were,
That song went through like 150 iterations.
yeah, that song was a journey to finish it.
Really?
And
It doesn't
was
sound like
interesting
it. It sounds
Yeah, I
so
mean, we
fluid.
kind of went back to like the roots of it. Like it was interesting, and then yeah, we had been doing a lot of remixes up to that point, but this was like the first like original track we worked on in a really long time. So it was I don't know, it felt good to work on it.
Yeah,
and
we got
release.
sick of remixing, and we're like, we gotta put something. We gotta put our own stuff out. Right now. And so that song.
Get somebody
was,
else to remix your tracks.
Yeah.
That's the key.
Yeah, and Televisor I think remixed that track.
Oh, nice.
Oh, they did a great job,
Original.
by the way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they did a great job on that one.
Very nice.
But yeah, it went through a million different versions, and then we just like, it's kind of one of those things where you work something to death almost, and then you're kind of like, wait, where did we go? Where did we go off? You know, like where did we lose the path here? And we kind of really broke it down to the essential of like what the demo basically sounded like. We took it all the way
nice.
back, and it ended up just feeling the most natural. Sometimes like you just got to stick with a vibe of the demo. Like the demo has a magic to it. You just have to go back to that.
Yep. go back to the source, because that's where you find that little je ne sais quoi, whatever it is that makes the song the song. I know. I actually used a French term, Jules. Is that something you're proud of me about?
Yes, very well done.
Yeah, I barely know English. I tell you, we're going to go ahead and drop this track right now. This is, again, one of my favorite tracks here. This is called In My Head. And once again, this is by Beta Blocker. You're listening to it right here on Night Ride FM. And once again, that was In My Head by Beta Blocker. And man, that song is in my head for sure. Yeah, that was a really bad pun. I love it. I love that track. I think it's like so funky. Like to me, like it's got like a cross between like, you know, and I hate comparing other artists to other artists because obviously you guys are doing your own thing, but it reminds me a little bit of the Bad Dreamers. It reminds me a little bit of like Chromeo, like for sure, like the funky, the talk box. But you guys just like, it's just like such a catchy melody, and the, you know, anything with a talk box, like in fact we were talking off the air, like we're just totally down for. That's in it to win it, in our opinion. So is that true talk box? Like what methods do you use to get that sound? The guitars, what DAW do you use? How do you make music? How can you help us make the sound that you guys do so we can make our own music and not even sound anywhere near you guys?
Chris, you want to start with the with the.
Is there a button you press or a knob you turn? I don't know.
You know, it's funny because with that one, so we use Ableton.
Okay.
We've been using Ableton for a really long time.
Write that down, Jules.
I think Live 5 was the one that I started with. So whatever version, how many versions we've been, we're on 11 now.
Wow.
Yeah, we used actually it's the Ableton vocoder, like the built-in vocoder plugin, but we ran our own formant our own formant into it. So
okay.
Our carrier. And I found that it's more important like how you shape the sound afterwards, and then how you shape the vocal signal going in. And really it's if you want like a really talk boxy sound, the more basic the wave shape, like if you use like a sawtooth or like just a really basic sound, and just minor EQ tweaks is like how you get it, and it's how you shape it after that really gets it. But like the more basic the tone going in, the more classic talk boxy sound you get. If you start adding like too many harmonics, like fourth, fifth order, and like all this crazy stuff, then you end up with a really complicated sound, and it'll sound more airy and washy, which is cool if you want to do that, but it won't sound like that classic talk box sound.
I'm taking notes here.
Jules is clacking his notes down here because
so that's one approach. Sometimes we'll use the carrier, like we'll use my guitar as instead of a synth to go into the talk box.
Oh, that's
we
wicked.
also have like a more traditional like Banshee talk box with like a tube that goes in
the tube that you deep throat.
Yeah.
That's
you
amazing.
can have a gag reflex, otherwise it's not gonna work out well.
No good.
Now, who does the vocals? Who actually does the vocals? Is that Chris or Ryan?
Chris.
I do the vocals.
Okay, Chris, you're the vocalist. So Ryan, do you do more? Now, Chris, do you do any production work, or you just vocals, or you do guitar?
He does a lot of production. So
you guys tag team it a little bit.
Our breakdown is like, so Chris mainly he does the vocals. He'll write a majority of the lyrics, but we work on lyrics together. And then I do the guitars. I have a background of playing guitar, and then we both work on production. So that's kind of like our division of labor. He's strictly vocals, I'm strictly guitar, but then we'll come together and we do synth bass, drums.
Nice.
We all kind of share the production. And then Chris actually does the mixing and mastering on our tracks also.
Very cool. Now, how did you guys get started? Like, where did this whole? I mean, you know, you don't have to take me to like day one where like.
So I was born in 1988.
My mom put a record on for me. But yeah, you know, how did you get in? Like, find each other and say, hey, let's make some music together. Like, was that? Did you guys know each other for a long time, and it was like an organic thing? Were you introduced?
We grew up in the same area, but we didn't know each other. Like it's weird because we
knew a lot of the same people.
Yes, and we didn't meet till like college, but we didn't know each other prior to that. And I met Ryan through his sister, who I took an art class with in college. And she introduced us.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I got this guy who makes music. You're gonna love him. And then like you're like that was
funny.
it.
We just started hanging out, and like I had been in a band. It's funny. My music background's kind of wild. But I was in like a hardcore death metal-y type band.
Nice.
Deathcore was actually the genre. But yeah. So I had just left that band, but we had been on the road and touring for a while. So I was kind of back in my hometown, and I wanted to start a new music project, but I didn't really want to go back into like that genre of music. And so I was playing and writing with a bunch of different people, and Chris and I just started hanging out, and I didn't really know that he was into music production. But I went to his house one day, and yeah, he pulled up Ableton, and he was showing me just some. I was like, dude, you're really good at this. And yeah, basically from like that point forward, we just started. I think especially that summer, we probably hung out almost every day and stayed up like all night just writing music every day.
Oh, that's wicked. That's what it's all about, you know, like just forming a relationship and then making music, and you know, and having it actually be like so good. That's always a bonus.
It was a lot of fun. It's hard to find people that, because I get pretty obsessed when I like start a project, and yeah, a big issue I've had is once I start a project with people, like I'm just way more into it than they are.
Right. Yeah. You get the lukewarm people.
Yeah, and I understand I'm kind of weird, you know, and maybe it's not healthy, you know, the level of obsession I get with stuff. So it's probably, I think the older I get, the more I understand why it's harder to find people that are willing to go all out on stuff. But yeah, Chris was down, and so I was like, oh my gosh, I liked hanging out with him. So I had found some other people to work on music before we worked together, and maybe they had the same weird drive, but personality-wise, we didn't click as much. So it was cool because we got along as friends, and then we both also really liked working on music together.
Nice.
Yeah, and it was weird because the other thing was that both Ryan and I have this thing where we could just like work like 14, 15, 16 hours straight.
Oh my God.
And not even think about it. You know? And
sleep under like the synths.
But don't you guys, because I know all producers suffer this, when you're building a track, you're listening to that song like a million times.
Oh my gosh. And it was funny is like, for Chris and I, it's fine, but you know, there's been years like back in the day, I had roommates or like my girlfriend, it would just drive them crazy. Like, this fucking song, dude. And maybe it's not even an entire song. We might be listening to
music again.
Like the same 8 bars on a loop.
Yes, exactly. The same 8 bars on the loop. And Chris is like, hey, should we like move that clap, or should we add like a note here? So we're listening to the same loop for hours. And like for anybody that walks by, they like, it's like torture for them. But we're just like,
it's maddening. Yeah. It's maddening.
Rip their hair out. But then you put it all together and it sounds wonderful. And speaking of, I think it's time to play another track from Beta Blocker. Mr. Jules, do you want to go ahead and set this track up?
Couple of shout outs first. Zephril, who was in the IRC, Vitamus.
Very good.
Christine tried to join, and Parmenian.
And Fuckwad, shout out to Fuckwad, who he joined, and then his quit message was wipe your ass. So
love Fuckwad.
It is a little PSA for all of our listeners out there. Wipe your ass. That's very important.
Thanks, Fuckwad.
Also want to shout back out to Johnny 5. I'm glad you're doing well, man.
Johnny 5. He is
still alive and kicking from the 80s, and that's a good thing.
That's it. You know, it's a wonderful thing.
He hasn't been disassembled.
Not yet. So that's good.
This next track, Part of You.
Yes. You want to talk about it real quick before we play it? A quick little setup.
Any tidbits?
Well, this is our first track. So we've been nonstop writing.
Oh, your very first track?
Well,
no.
Our first track back.
The first track after a hiatus.
Yeah. And it's
Now I know we have another one as well. Now Strangers that's a little bit of a is that the premiere?
Yeah.
This is
sneak peek.
Sneak
you guys are getting a sneak peek.
Oh,
so that's not out yet.
I'm so stoked for that.
Premiered here.
I am so all right. So that's a little bit in the future. But right now we're gonna have this wonderful track here. This is just another banger here, and I like all. I wanted to put all your tracks. Like really, honestly, I couldn't really pick one. I just literally just went to Spotify and I'm like, all right, these are the top 3. But like everything that I listen to, it's amazing. It's just really good. Just grabs you with the melody. So enough talking. We're gonna go play some music here. Once again, this is Beta Blocker with Part of You right here on Night Ride FM.
It's 3:00 in the morning. I can't sleep. What the hell is it we're doing? Taking it back to square one. 3:00 in the morning. Stubbornly backed into another corner. Can we be chill this once? She goes, I don't wanna tell you that the memories drive me crazy. But I know that we can settle this time for good. Ooh, but I get sentimental for a little, they call me crazy. But I can let this memory settle this time for good. Clear it up in the morning. I have dreams, nothing ever changes for us. Maybe it's just bad luck. We'll clear it up in the morning. If I had reason or reconsider showing, we could have sealed this shut. She goes, I don't wanna tell you that the memories drive me crazy. But I know that we can settle this time for good.
All right, once again, that was Part of You. I don't know why I just sung that. Like,
Because of the falsetto.
That's
exactly
why
right.
I sung it. I want to talk about your falsetto because I didn't even know you had a falsetto. Like, there's so many elements to your music that I just absolutely love. And yeah, that's just another thing to add to the pile. Like, you guys can do like a falsetto. Like, that's, I mean, obviously, I guess that's Chris doing the falsetto. I say you guys, but Ryan's like, what are you talking about?
I'm there for support.
Yeah,
Falsetto.
hit that note, buddy.
I'm cheering him on, dude.
But man, you sound like just so good, and you could always tell like a good singer. that they sing a lot through the vocoders, and you're like, all right, well, how well can they sing? And then like you hear that and you're like, okay, they can sing, and so kudos to you, man, for hitting the high notes and just slaying it on that track. Do you feel comfortable? Well, I guess you do, obviously. Like, how long have you been singing for? Like, is this something that like you fell into, or have you always been singing? Or
it was like by accident.
Really?
It was just kind of like,
that's what I was wondering. That's crazy.
It was kind of this thing where when Ryan and I first started working together, we had like a vocalist who was like part of our band. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's kind of a long story, but
it was a different band.
Before basically. Chris and I were like a production duo, there was another project that I brought Chris into for production, to do production in, and there was like 7 dudes. It was like a huge, like, we had a percussionist and a drummer, and we had a vocalist.
Alpha Blocker.
Yeah, exactly. And then but then it turned into Chris and I just writing all the songs, and then the vocalist wasn't showing up and he wasn't writing parts, and so Chris was doing demo vocals, and then
you're like, this is pretty damn good.
At least I was like, this sounds good. I like it more, and
that's wild.
Yeah, so it kind of grew from there. I forgot about that, Chris. That's funny.
Yeah, I always I never thought of myself as a vocalist. I was just kind of like, well, we have to write songs, so I can record this and write it, and then I just became it out of necessity because nobody was going to write the parts that I came up with, and
wow.
So it just felt all right, well, I'll get good at this,
That means that Chris, you're the guy with the upper mask.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
That's what I wanted to get into.
Yeah, and Ryan's the one with the lower mask.
You guys have
all make sense.
Such a crazy cool aesthetic where like you're both like, usually like there's always one guy with the mask, but like you guys come out like bang, you're like, you got like the double masks going on, the upper, the lower mask, like such a cool like imagery.
I love the artwork.
I think it's so wicked.
Yeah. Got a mix of both.
Thank you.
It's so crazy. Like, who came up with that idea? And I don't know. It's such a cool idea that I think it really leans into your music as well. It gives you like a mystique as well.
Well, with the mask, like we both kind of had this thought that like, I mean, you don't know where things go, and like, do you always want to be recognized as that person from that band? Like it's. So having that kind of layer of anonymity is great.
Yeah.
I think for many reasons.
I guess it worked for Daft Punk too.
Totally. Yeah, totally. Like also their career like spanned decades, and you're not like, it's not like those are old men, like you're not thinking that.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
They never aged.
Yeah. They stayed these like androids forever. And,
the coolest robot.
I think that's great. It's fantastic. But also like this ability to kind of, we always wanted the mask to evolve over time and change and have like different eras of music have different like vibes. And we just thought that was a really cool way to add more personality to everything and mess with the visuals and do stuff. We have even stuff planned for the new music, but it's just like, it's one of those things that it just seemed right. I don't know. It just seemed like, Chris, this is the vibe.
Tell me, admit it. You've looked in the mirror with that mask and you said, "I'm Batman."
Yeah, I have to say that before he
records everything.
Before I record anything, that's the first thing I have to say.
And if it's a bad take, it's because he didn't do that.
Right, exactly. Yeah. It's like a superstition at one point. Another thing that I noticed about your aesthetic too is your, at least like for like your logo and like a lot of the imagery that you have on like your social profiles is like this cool little bird. Like I think that's pretty wicked. Like I think it's such a unique imagery.
It's Big Henry. We call him Big Henry.
Is it a real bird? Is it somebody's bird? Is it like a, or is it just like an artist?
It's not really based on a real bird, but I realized. So I told Chris this after we had already kind of designed them. That I have an aunt, and I have some interesting stories about her, but she's got like a macaw that's huge, and it used to kind of like terrorize me as a kid. So I'm like, dude, it's all kind of coming full circle. You know?
Man-eating macaw.
Yeah.
That's cool though. Like, what was the like? Who thought of the idea of having the bird imagery? Like, and does it Is it like it symbolize anything in your music, or is it significant in a way?
There is so the imagery comes from, I don't know how much I want to explain this because I feel like I just like that it has a feeling for people. But let's just
you don't have to go lay in too much.
Yeah.
Like
We went through a
5,000
ton of artwork iterations, and it symbolized stuff that we like, and then it also just had this weird ominous presence that felt
there was
uncomfortable
like
that
this,
we really liked.
because the whole thing, like the art is very ornate, and it's kind of like sort of has this sort of like royalty kind of vibe. Like you would think of like commissioned pieces for like 17th century kings and queens, like stuff that would be hanging in palaces.
Oh, right.
And the bird is kind of like you would see stuff like that. They would keep exotic animals and things in these palaces, but the bird is like very ominous. Like there's something macabre about it,
Yeah. It's like David Lynch and the owls. The owls are freaky.
Exactly. Like the birds have like this depth behind them, and they just, in general, like when you look in birds' eyes, and if they're staring you down, especially those larger birds, there's something like freaky going on there,
Yeah.
And I think that's just kind of like always been like a part of our sound. Like the things that we talk about, our lyrics are generally pretty dark. And and our sound is very energetic and funky. So it's the contrast of the two things. And we try to put that into everything that we do.
That's
this
cool.
kind of like dark undertone, but like the sort of like, bubblegum pop rapping, but it's never that.
Yeah,
it's always...
I love that. It's kind of like multi-levels to the sound, and if you dig beneath the surface, it's got this ominous vibe. I love that.
If you want to listen to a fun, groovy track, like it's doing that, but then, if you listen to what we're talking about, it's not always like fun.
Right. Yeah, it reminds me of like not that it's like quirky, but like They Might Be Giants is another favorite band of mine that you listen to.
Really cool.
The happiest sounding song in the world, but they're literally talking about like, my life is completely destroyed and I'm nothing. But it's like so happy when they sing it. You're like, this is a great song.
Dennis, you know that song by Sunset Neon, Never Dance Again?
Yes.
It's like the happiest bop, and it's all about him running over his ex and her new boyfriend.
Yeah, like I love that.
It's
I
so
love
funny
that
how
contrast.
you can package messaging, the way that, I guess, the methodology of delivery makes such an impact on how messages are received. It's so it's fun to kind of mess around with that, and it's cool sometimes having a contrast. Sometimes I like hearing songs that maybe have a more morose theme elements, and also the music kind of supports that. Sometimes that feels right, but sometimes it's cool to kind of mess with that packaging where just the sonic soundscape feels very different in contrast to lyrics. So it's fun to kind of mess with that.
Yeah.
Speaking of messing around, let's talk about remixes.
Yes. Now, this is what blew my mind. Like, when I first went and found you guys on Spotify, I was basically like what in the world? Like, Selena Gomez? I'm like, Elliot Goulding? Like, what? How? What? And like, I was just blown away, and I was like, is this even like legit? And then like, I have a good buddy of mine, and he's like, yeah, it's this like straight up like connected to the whatever the ISBN number or whatever the weird thing is. You know stuff. I don't know stuff. But like, dude, that's like wicked. Like, how did you get involved in these? I mean, there's two. Like, you did one for Ellie Goulding, right? Is how you pronounce her name. and I can never pronounce her name right. And Selena Gomez, like, of course, she's a household name. How did you get involved in both of those remixes? Each one was like a couple years apart, right? I guess one was in 2013 and one in 2016.
So we did a bunch of remixes. So that's how we kind of started off.
We started out as in like the remix game.
Oh,
That's,
okay.
Like, really.
So we were working with some labels, and they would basically, we'd get, contacted. Certain artists are looking for remixes, and they're not all up on Spotify, but on our YouTube channel or they're kind of scattered throughout the internet. We did I think we did a Z remix and RAC remix. Like we did a bunch of different ones.
Yeah,
Get out of town.
There's a lot of stuff, man. I honestly forget everything.
Yeah,
but
and then that was what we did primarily for a long time. And then we had a few things. We had a few of our remixes kind of. I remember the Sir Sly one. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that group, but we did.
No, but
we did a remix for one of their tracks, and it got placed in like a Cadillac commercial. And,
nice.
It aired like for months, and it did really well. And this happened to us a few times where our remixes were like getting picked up for like larger commercial things, and we're like, we should just do our own.
We should do a thing.
Or like maybe we should be writing our own music.
Because music stuff is fun.
Whenever we would, whenever we get a remix, we just like dumped all of the. Like, we only used the vocals. We never used any of the instruments. We just dump all that and rewrite the song around the vocals.
Oh, wow.
I think that's more common now, but in like 2012, 2013, that wasn't always the move.
Yeah. They tended to sound more similar to the original track. And we tried to, like, if the track was, I think this the going theme right now is contrast. If the track was happy, we would try to make a very dark version of it. If it was like a dark track, we'd try to make it funky and happy.
I love that.
Like, you're not just adding like 4 bars here and
no.
You're actually
it was like a complete vibe change, and that's probably why we got hit up for remixes so often, because they're like they would always get something really unexpected and different from the original song.
So now
incredible.
You're making your own songs now.
Yes.
And Dennis wrote here in the script.
Possibly getting some of your own remixes
a little birdie told him that you're getting remixed
from a good friend of ours.
Yes.
They're a couple arcade guys. They like their arcade games by the name of Arcade High.
They're cool. They're Cool Inc.
They are Cool Inc. Incorporated. Yes. So that's awesome. You guys got one of your tracks. Arcade High is going to be remixing it, and I know that's coming out like later down the pipeline. Do you want to give us some information? Arcade High are just like legends in their own right as well. So what did they do? Like, did they make your happy song sad, or your sad song happy? Or
it's so vibey. It's the what they did. I don't even want to spoil it, but it's super vibey. It's awesome. I feel like they totally nailed it, and it's totally like a synthwave track.
Nice.
So like for everybody listening, like you're getting a really dope synthwave track.
Yeah.
Sweet.
By the way, a quick shout out to Grunt in the YouTubes who just joined.
Hey, Grunt. Very nice. Thanks for joining the show. All right, now
Arcade High remix. Oh, that's awesome.
Speaking of awesome things, now do you have a date? Do you know when that's like a month or
sometime next month?
Okay, all right.
Yes,
That's
sometime next month. So sometime in June, probably mid-ish June, but we don't have a for sure date yet. But,
okay.
Sometime
but
in
it's
June.
coming soon. It's
If everyone follows you on Spotify, you'll get it on the release radar.
There it is.
And of course, once you whip up your Bandcamp page,
and you can buy it on Bandcamp.
or Arcade High will slap it on theirs.
Indeed. So I'm going to go ahead and take care of my barking dog. But speaking of amazing things that we have and opportunities, we have a very special track that you guys have graciously have given this to us to premiere on the show. Now, I'm like super stoked to play this track. This is the first time that we're even playing this anywhere. I guess first time it's being played anywhere anywhere, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Any-
Yeah.
Many
Outside-
anywheres.
Outside of our studios, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Like, all right, so
It's
do
not
you
a
wanna-
pseudo premiere. It's a real.
it's
premiere.
like the
It's
real
a
deal.
premiere.
Uh,
Yeah, it's as real as it gets.
Now it's called Strangers. Do you want to tell us a little bit about the track and where it came from and all that good stuff?
Sure. Yeah. Actually, like a friend of ours was going through a really nasty divorce, and there's just kind of like there's a lot of turmoil happening during the time, and it was very heavily inspired by that, I would say. But and we kind of wanted like this like aggressive tone to it, and have like, I don't know, it's just there's a certain vibe that we got from that, and yeah, it just kind of inspired the lyrics and the vibe of the track, and it's a little bit of change up from the other two songs, but
So this is a nice happy track then.
yeah, very happy.
Something
Very
to wag your finger to, man.
Happy
But you know,
song.
it's kind of like that situation where, you know, you might really care about somebody, but like it's just you're turning into different people, and it's just like, what are you gonna do? And sometimes it's just like there's nothing you can do. You're parting ways, and there's nothing you can. Despite trying to fight it, despite like ignoring it or whatever,
You
it's
become
just
strangers.
yeah.
Just gotta let it
So-
happen. Well, very cool. I am so stoked, and ladies and gentlemen, yeah, listen to this, and then we're gonna make them build a Bandcamp, and then go on the Bandcamp and like buy all their stuff, and then it's gonna be a wonderful thing. And yeah, I'm telling you, you put it on Bandcamp, they're gonna eat this up like candy because it's so good. Every track that I've heard from you guys is just like spot on, and this one is no stranger to greatness. Again, bad pun on my part. We're just gonna play it. This is amazing. This is a premiere right here on Night Ride FM. This is Strangers by Beta Blocker, and here it is. Enjoy the track.
What was that?
Take these hands, I need guidance. Whoa. You still look at me with the certainty of alliance. I recall the days when you call on me and you talk all day, and you bother me when you want my attention. I feel like we both do the danger in silence. Ooh, oh, oh. I see you on the inside.
And that was Strangers by Beta Blocker. Yes. I love it.
We know what we're doing.
We know what we're doing, ladies and gentlemen, and I do not talk in circles at all. I could properly introduce a song eventually, but not today, apparently. But yeah, it's definitely a fun ride. I have a dog who loves to bark, and here's my thing. What do you do when you got a dog and it barks and they have these like barking collars? But like, do you guys do barking collars?
Put headphones on the dog and put the mic up.
I try to. In fact, you know what we're gonna try to do?
VR headset on the dog.
We're gonna try to get the dog on a vocoder. I think that's what we're gonna try to do. In fact, we did a show with Essinger, and he had his cat. He actually brought his cat in and did a vocoder on his cat.
Live, yeah.
It was hilarious.
He had his basically he had his setup piping through Ableton into Zencaster, so he could
he could do the whole and he would do these little bits, like he would just like crank it up and like do this whole like vocoder thing. It was like hilarious.
Now that's entertainment.
That's gonna be our shtick. Yeah, we're bringing the dog in the show because what are you gonna do? You got a dog that barks, and a live show, so it is what it is.
And then IRC users like Taint Blaster.
Yeah, Taint Blaster, dude.
Taint Blaster, yes. So we're a very professional operation front to back. Taint Blaster and Wipe Your Ass. We appreciate you guys listening to the show, and yes, very professional. So yeah, what do we talk about now? That was amazing. I love that track. We want to talk about what's going on with new stuff. I know we got some things to be expecting. Obviously, we have Strangers. We're expecting that to drop. You said that's dropping in a couple days? In a day?
Like tomorrow at midnight.
Oh, there you go.
At midnight.
Sweet.
Yeah.
There you go.
It'll be on the release radar.
And Jules is smoking a blunt while he's in the middle of the show. Like this is how we roll.
Yeah.
I love you, Jules. You're the best. But so again, amazing stuff. Now you guys are always working on new music, and you said you work on like how many hours of the day do you work on music? Like it's got to be
25
just
hours a day.
Or do you go in spurts?
30.
Is it like a spurt, or are you like regimented? Like I'm gonna be 10 hours in the studio, and then
I used to be like I used to be where I just like work for like 3 days straight.
Yeah, we
just
do.
don't
We
sleep.
used to do marathon sessions. Right?
Yeah, we used to do crazy, like really degenerate stuff.
Oh
Just
my God.
like not sleep for days, and then I'd start hallucinating.
Yeah,
and I'd
we
be
used to
like,
call
okay,
ourselves
this
like
is-
studio gnomes. Like we wouldn't leave, and like we'd like leave the studio, and like the sun would hurt us. And
I think
Yeah.
the Arcade High Boys, they used to do Twitch streams when they were noodling around in their studio, and some of their Twitch streams just went on and on and on and on.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's like marathon.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I
but
think
if I
that's
could watch these
common.
guys all day long.
Mm.
though.
I think that is common with like a lot of musicians, where you just time blindness. You're stuck on this thing. You're like, I gotta figure out what's the next note in this melody. Like, what's this chord progression? How does this resolve? Oh, this synth, like it's not quite the right tone. Like, and you just tweak and tweak and tweak, and then it's just hours can go by. I swear I'm sure that like there's been countless times where I've been tweaking a synth tone for like probably 4 to 5 hours straight.
it's so weird. Yeah, it's like a time vortex.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Feels like
insane.
10 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now you have, again, eventually, do you feel like you're gonna like roll this into like an EP, to like an album, or are you guys just comfortable with just, because I guess that's like the new way that people release music. Like you have some artists out there that never release like a full album.
I think it's the Spotify model, right?
Yeah,
To
for
stay
sure,
relevant,
for
you always
sure.
gotta pop a single and a single. And
Is
a
that
single.
something you guys, because you do have a very cohesive sound, like you were saying, like those 3 tracks have a very similar cohesive kind of vibe, and then you were going to change it up
Yeah.
with some other things. Is that something that you were thinking about, or are you guys just chill with putting out these bangers every now and then?
Yeah. I like albums. Like
I like albums also.
we both really love albums. There is an incentive to release singles because of the way Spotify works and like the way a lot of the streaming platforms, like the more you release, the better.
Well, yeah. What's kind of crazy is so our last EP was 2018, right? So it's been a long time since we released our first single since then in 2023. It's a long hiatus.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But it used to be common to take maybe 2 years between albums, maybe 3 years, but maybe a year. I feel like if you do that now, which we took a very long hiatus, you're just, especially on Spotify, like, you can get long forgotten. So it's we like albums, and I think maybe at some point we'll spend the time to work on and release an album as a whole. But at least for the foreseeable, I don't know, future year or so, we'll probably keep doing singles and maybe package them as an EP or an album with some extra tracks that weren't released as singles.
Any hopes of physical media, like 8-track or cassette or vinyl?
We've had a remix released on vinyl, and I like that. I would definitely want to do like limited runs. I think that would be cool.
We'd be interested in doing that.
Yeah, I'm not opposed. I like that. I think physical media is cool, and but definitely limited runs. I don't want to do like huge runs of stuff like that.
Now, currently, your music is obviously on pretty much every streaming platform, Amazon and iTunes.
And we're working on Bandcamp.
Yeah,
everything but Bandcamp, basically.
Spotify, everything but Bandcamp.
We really have something against Bandcamp.
Yeah, what's up with
you
you guys? You guys have a thing for downloadable music, man?
I know.
Yeah, it's you know what? Kazaa is what we recommend. If you want to download.
Oh my god!
Find us on LimeWire.
LimeWire, Napster, all the big ones. Yes.
Get your Winamp open, put on your favorite skin.
In
Really
fact,
whips the llama's ass.
Did you guys know
sure-
they rebooted Winamp? They're in the
Did they?
process. They're in the process of rebooting the Winamp.
Yeah, it's coming back.
That's hilarious.
It's insane.
I mean, who?
Well, here's the thing. I think that they're actually getting to the point where they're like somehow integrating like. I know nothing about what they do, but I thought that they integrated like streaming platforms that you can kind of like hook into
Interesting.
Winamp. Like
If they do that, and there's like the nostalgia factor of like,
it's got to look like the original, whips the llama's ass.
We send each other's like Winamp skins. Like I'll find hilarious old Winamp skins and I'll send them to Chris, and we'll just like die laugh. There's some There's some really
nobody
good ones
under
out
the
there.
age of 28 is going to use that, right? Like,
No. By the way, I think usually our listeners, if they're on the Night Ride website, there's a tab there for Milk Drop if you want some classic visualizations from Winamp.
Right. Yeah, that comes
Night Ride
straight
site
from
has it.
Winamp. Yes. So
Got you
A
covered.
web version of Milk Drop.
check that out,
my
man.
gosh. I'm looking at it right now, by the way.
It's
and this is
trippy, right?
totally-
It is
yeah,
totally
it's full
trippy.
Winamp vibes.
Yeah, it's totally like we're all about the retro. Now, speaking of some socials, you guys are out there. I know you guys are out there on Instagram, and I know you're on Twitter, Facebook.
So from what I can tell, so it's Beta Blocker on all of them except Facebook, which is Beta Blocker Music.
I think so. We're really bad with social stuff. We're trying to do some more posting, but
Well, you guys are busy making music. That's okay.
that's what we like to do. And then, we're probably going to be a little bit more active on social media, but
Yeah.
we're trying to
We have
post more just visual content to go along with the music.
Yeah, we want to do cool stuff with social media, like stuff that's not just like like
Listen
an
to my song.
obligatory, social post. We want
We
it
got some
to be
interesting
like,
ideas too that we're kind of kicking around.
So you
Nice.
you only need 30 hours in a day to do that,
Yeah, exactly.
8 days a week.
Yeah.
right?
I think that's our real problem is that like there's no like we're not just it's not in our personality just like just put it out, it's good enough. Like it's just that does not compute with either one of us.
Right.
So everything requires like a lot of effort, and like we have to overthink everything that we do. And I think in terms of what we're doing, it actually works out in our favor but we have to be selective of the things that we work on because of that. But I want to engage with social media in a way that it's like in addition to the stuff that we're doing, it's like providing some aspect that doesn't exist in just the music. So if we're gonna do visuals and things like that, I want it to be stuff that people like really enjoy. That I don't want it just be like garbage that we're just making people like, you know, like and subscribe. You know, I don't know. I want it to be something
I'm watching
that
your
matters.
fired up music video, and you're pulling like some Robert Palmer vibes there. I'm loving
totally.
it.
I'm so glad you said that. That was
I love
totally
it.
the vibe.
I was watching. I'm like, that's Robert Palmer. God damn it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly what
That's
we're going
incredible.
100%. Yeah.
So quality content.
Yeah, for sure. So go out, Facebook, Twitter. You definitely have like a lot of like videos and different things to look at on Facebook and
YouTube.
Instagram and YouTube and
YouTubes.
all of those awesome things to connect with this amazing band. You guys are incredible, and I just want to thank you so much for coming on the show. It's just it's just a wonderful thing you guys did, especially letting us play Strangers First. Go out, listen to it 1,000 times on Spotify until we get it up on Bandcamp. You
Yep.
can listen
Tomorrow
to it
at midnight.
It's just
Well, yeah,
put
thanks
it
for
in
having us.
put it on your playlists,
Yeah,
all that good stuff.
it's quite the honor to have you guys on, man.
Yeah.
Oh, we had a blast. It was super fun. You guys, I like the questions that you asked. Everything. It's like you guys know what's up. So it was super fun for us.
Yeah.
Let us know when your Arcade High remix comes out. We'll shout it.
Yes,
on the rooftops.
we would love to play it too. Feel free to send it over
sure.
because
100%. They did. Like I just cannot say like enough about how awesome of a job they did.
oh man,
Like
then we definitely
and
will
they,
play
they
it.
reached out to us. They're like, hey, we love this song. We want, and we were stoked. And the guys are awesome, by the way. Like,
Yeah.
By the
Patrick
way,
and Ryan are
guys,
amazing.
Patrick has a birthday tomorrow.
Hey,
We're gonna get to
Oh,
birthdays
hey.
a little bit later, but yeah, I like to track all the birthdays of these artists.
all right.
so we gotta give him a shout out for his
Yeah.
birthday.
Yeah,
There you
and
go.
we will do some birthday shout outs as well. In the meantime, why don't we go ahead and play a track, Mr. Neon Fawkes?
Sure. Yeah, let's. We got a fresh new submission from UK artist Rogue FX, and here it is. This is the 5th step right here on Night Ride FM.
Your mind can recognize if you don't use it. Haze of consciousness, total confusion. Total confusion. It's been so long, so long, so long, so long, so long. Searching for that emotion response. Take the 5th step, it's gonna lift you up. Expand your mind, send your feelings up. Just take a sip from the devil's cup. Whoa, take a sip from the devil's cup. Take the 5th step, tap reality up. New vision of love is there for the taking. Take it all. Take it. So face a future shock. Your body is aching. It feels so strong, so strong. Feels so strong. Feels so strong. Stay Take the fifth step into the future. The future's unwritten. Why not take the fifth step? Just for a moment. Why not take the fifth step? Take the fifth step. Why not take the fifth step? Why you take the fifth step? Why you take the fifth step? Take the fifth step. It's gonna lift you up. Why you take the fifth step? Expand your mind, send your feelings up. Just take a sip from the devil's cup. Take a sip, take a sip. Take the fifth step, tear reality up. Tear reality up. Take the fifth step. Send your feelings up. Tear reality up. Tear reality up.
All right, and that was Rogue FX with The Fifth Step. Very good.
Now, before we let our guests go, we were
Yes.
talking to you guys behind the song about you guys don't necessarily sit in the same room when you're producing. You guys have some sort of crazy VPN setup. Do explain.
Yes. So you could do this with a variety of hardware. Chris and I are both using Ubiquiti routers. That's the company. And then we set up what's called like an L2TP VPN tunnel between our houses.
Whoa, that's
which
wild.
there's a lot of tutorials online on how to do that. And then once we have the tunnel set up, there's a free plugin called Restream. And
It's Windows only.
Yeah, it's
That's
Windows
one
only.
thing.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Mac.
Yeah.
There may be something equivalent on Mac, but we both work on Windows. So yeah, there's Restream, and then there's a send and receive mode. But basically, if let's say Chris is working on the set and I want to listen, when he hits play in his Ableton, I have Ableton open at my house. It's almost real time. Like it's less latency than on a phone call. So if we're on the phone and the music comes through faster on my headphones or speakers than it does on the cell phone. So it's
Wow.
pretty quick.
It's
then we
like as
got-
fast as the data can send to the other person. So whatever the latency between your connections is what the latency is. And the other thing that's awesome
Screen
about
sharing.
it. Oh yeah, you can talk about that too, actually. But
You can go ahead.
I was
what
just
you were
gonna say the best thing about Restream is that the audio is uncompressed. So it's just
sounds
straight
great.
up the
What?
wave audio that's coming out. Yeah, it's not like compressed for internet. It's just like the highest quality audio that comes out of your DAW. So he hears exactly what I hear.
That is
There's no
insane.
different.
That was great when we're mixing a track
Or
or
doing
and then
mastering. Yeah.
The other thing that's helpful is we have local screen sharing. There's a software called Moonlight or Sunshine. One's a client device. One's like so depending on if you want to share or view somebody's screen, you'll either have Moonlight or Sunshine open. But since we have the VPN tunnel, they find each other on the local network, what they think is a local network.
Yeah.
And then so who's ever working on the track can share their screen, and then we hear it in real time. So it's like then we're talking to each other. So it's a really nice workfall.
Sweet. So
For
you guys
working
then
remotely.
order your own pizzas.
Yes. Yeah. Each person gets their own pizza. I used to be very active, like when I was younger, and eating like a whole like Costco pizza by myself
Oh,
was
God.
not an uncommon thing.
Oh my god.
But
Double Western bacon and top it off
yeah,
with
yeah.
Costco pizza, dude.
Yeah. But yeah, this having this sort of VPN tunnel set up, like there's a lot of things to being on the same local network, a lot of advantages, and especially with audio work, like there's a lot of cool things you could do with that. And the other thing is that you can run Restream in like a plugin host, like something like Live Professor or whatever. And we use RME interfaces, and RME interfaces allow for like insane routing. Like you can route anything to any input and output. It's all like zero latency, and you can like have, like, for example, let's say you want to run Restream outside of Ableton. You could run all of the Windows audio through Restream into the plugin host, and then like show, like I could be playing Spotify or whatever. So it doesn't just have to be Ableton audio. It can be any system audio, period.
Wow.
Awesome.
Well, look at that.
Chris wants to play a song in
That's
Winamp.
high-tech.
He can share that to me. as well.
Yes.
Indeed.
Now, speaking of pizza, it's dinner time for you guys, right?
Yes.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So
So
we want to thank you guys for coming on, and we will let you get to your mixing and slicing and dicing
restreaming and yeah.
But thank you so much for coming on the show. I mean, this was a pleasure.
Ryan, Chris, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. It's been a lot of fun.
Thanks for having us.
And go check
definitely
out.
Be tuning in.
All right.
Yeah, we'll be tuning in, and we'll stay in touch with that remix that's coming out.
Yes, we got to get that on. We'll get that
And
on
Bandcamp.
as soon as you release it,
Yes,
and
and
we will
Bandcamp, yep.
we will buy it straight off the Bandcamp, and we will tell everyone to go
Exactly.
and spend their hard-earned money on these amazing tracks, because you guys deserve the recognition. You guys are doing an amazing job, and just making music, man. That's what it's all about. Making people happy with your sad songs.
Thanks, guys.
Depressing songs.
Thank you so much for coming on, guys.
Have a good night, guys.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
You too.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Ciao.
All right, Mr. Neon Fawkes, what do you say? Let's drop another track on
do it.
the listeners here. What do we got
Right,
lined up
First,
here?
shout out to Animal, who managed to join the IRC.
Hey, he got in. Congratulations. Very nice.
Let's see. We're going back to the UK. UK artist Neilio has once again teamed up with a member of the synth community, this time with our very own Karen Zoe Lee.
Hey, very nice.
So yeah, this track by Neilio is called Cypher, and you're hearing it right here on Night Ride FM.
You were fortunate enough to be different.
And that was Neilio featuring Karin Zoe Lee with Cypher.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's cool, man. I like that track. And
Once again, Karin lending her cool voice.
how many things is she in now? Like, I feel
she's
like
like 6 or 7. I think like she. I mean, yeah, she's got 6 or 7 tracks now.
she's got like enough for an album. Like, she could put out
Right?
her own album with all her special appearances. Like, that is just incredible. Well, anyway, so very good. It's wonderful to have tracks and special appearances by super cool people like Karin Zoe Lee. So very good. And, speaking of cool people, I know we have some cool birthdays.
We mentioned Patrick earlier.
Yeah.
Let's do some birthdays. You want
some
to?
birthdays.
Here, you know what? I'll start off.
All right, you started off, and I'll follow.
So yesterday, Jacket celebrated a birthday.
Very good.
So happy birthday, Jacket. And also, our friend, we haven't heard from him in a long time, Pretty Glass Folk over in the UK. Celebrated a birthday.
Up, Jack? Celebrate your birthday, man. Come out with a another banger track.
Yes, man. Him, when he did that cover of Ghostbusters with Neon Arcadia and Megan McDuffie and a whole shitload of artists.
Yeah.
It was an amazing cover.
That
I
was
think we need some more Pretty Glass Folk.
That was dope. Yeah, indeed. So happy birthday, May 18th, which is tomorrow. We have Blazergrad. We have Patrick, as we mentioned earlier. Patrick from Arcade High. Happy birthday to you, Patrick. And Oscillion. Happy birthday to them as well. And George Ergum. Very good.
Also known as George Ergum Lidze.
Yes.
I love saying his
name. It's a wonderful name to say, yes. It's so fun.
Right. What else? The next day, May 19th, it's Alistair's birthday from Taurus 1984. I got to hang with him recently here in Toronto.
Oh, nice.
Was it last week or the week
you.
before when I DJ'd? Yeah.
Rubbing elbows.
Yeah.
And one more, I guess, right, on May 20th.
Yeah, we got Elixir from Down Under. She's celebrating her birthday.
Very cool. And last but not least, we have May 21st. We have Heretic G. And actually, that's not last month. I just can't scroll down the rest of the script here. And Megan McDuffie. So happy birthday to them. And I'll read off the last one here. May 22nd, which is Viper Drive.
Yes, Alex Brendi.
Yeah. Happy birthday to you, my friend. Very cool. All right.
Get back to some music.
More music for your ears. What do we got?
I like this next track. We met him down in Florida at Neon.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah, so he was a life of the party. I thought I was a nut for how much I danced in front of the stage. He didn't stop.
Yeah, he's so fun.
He's like a little ball of energy. So here it is, Florida artist Max Overdrive, 1986. He released a new single in March, which is simply incredible. This is Berlin Romance right here on Night Ride FM.
And that was Berlin Romance by Max Overdrive 1986. That was a 6-minute long song, man. Wow.
Great song.
Epic they call that.
We have 4 more songs to play, so we gotta get the show rolling. So how about we do another one?
Let's do it. Let's just
right.
back to back.
One of my favorite artists, French artist AWITW, which means A Walk in the Woods, has released a new album called Turning Point, and it's a mix of chill and energetic synthwave tracks. And this one is called Dreamland, and you're listening to it right here on Night Ride FM.
And that was Dreamland with A Walk in the Woods, AWITW, right?
Yes, it was AWITW with Dreamland.
With Dreamland. Very good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyways, I think it's time to rattle off some touring news for those listeners who might want to go see a live show.
Yes, indeed. I would love to talk about some places and events that is going on throughout the world. Who wants to kick it off here? You want to kick it off, Jules?
So there was this thing called Synth Force 7 Tour, and this was a TWRP and Magic Sword. They are doing a show right tonight down south, and they're doing their last one May 18th, tomorrow. I don't know where, but yeah, you can go to the Magic Sword Facebook page, check out their events section, and yeah, find out where they're playing.
That's right. Get yourself a magic sword. That's what they do, right?
Yes.
Wave the sword. May 20th, we have San Junipero, New York City. Morgan Willis. DJ sets by Valentine, Faith in the Glitch, and that is in Brooklyn. So you can check that out. That's amazing.
Over in, let's see, May 24th, Helsinki Synth City. You can guess where that's happening.
Yes.
And with Hotline Kotonen. And that's going to feature Marvel 83, who we saw down in Tampa.
Yeah.
As well as Platronic and a DJ set by Benjamin Risto Uono.
Rono. Very good.
Uono.
That's a fun name to say. May 26th, we have VHS Vision, The Resurrection, Robert Parker, and Wave Shaper, and that is in Sweden.
Stockholm, Sweden.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool.
And let's see, May 26th at the 101 Club, the Neon Droid is performing. That's in Budapest, Hungary.
Indeed. May 26th through the August 26th, we have Leather Terror Tour with Carpenter Brute, and they are touring all throughout Europe, so that's pretty rad.
Yep. Let's see, June 9th, San Junipero, LA is happening, and this time Morgan Willis heads over there to Los Angeles to perform. There's going to be DJ sets by Valentine once again, and this time Jackson.
Very cool, very cool. We also have on June 10th, we have Synth Wars with Cassetter, Chris Kia, Rogue VHS, it's not Bakaki. It's not Bakaki Machine. did not mispronounce that. And Daniel Adams. So check that out.
That's going down in Brighton, England. All right, and of course, the show everybody wants to talk about, June 15th in LA at the Troubadour, Ollie Ride. And guess who's opening for him? Parallels. And guess who's going to be on the keyboards for Parallels?
Who's that?
Glitbiter.
What? Get out of town.
Yeah, Florence is going to be doing keyboards for
that's
Parallels.
awesome.
Ollie.
Oh,
and yeah, so
what a
Holly
show.
and Ollie. There you go.
Holly and Ollie. Very cool.
Of course, if you want to know more, Night Ride has a little blog called Synthwave Events. If you type in Synthwave Events in Google, it's the first thing that pops up because we're that cool.
We're that cool, man. We're that cool. Yes, so what do we got next? More music, then we got more music, and then we wrap it up with more music, I guess.
Yes. Let's do it.
All right.
Victoria, BC artist Oceanside 85 dropped a new album called Love Warrior, chock full of incredible tracks and collaborations, as usual. Here's one of our favorite tunes. This is Oceanside 85 with Moving in Shadows featuring Elevate the Sky, right here on Night Ride FM.
This world tries to stress us. No, they can't break us. For now we're safe here, 'cause we're moving in the shadows. Lost hearts always searching. Temptation is urging. Can we keep it moving? Hiding in the night. It gets to me. Distractions in the day-to-day. Let's let the distortion fade away while we're moving in the
And that was Moving in the Shadows by Oceanside 85 and Elevate the Sky. And man, she sounds just like Belinda Carlisle in that. I love it.
Man, that awesome. The whole album is amazing.
Yeah.
She knocked it out of the park. I mean, what was one of her last album? Her last album was the Neon Dreams, right?
I think
No, it was
so.
Hey Sexy.
She did
That's
the
Hey
dirty
Sexy.
one.
Yeah, the Hey
dirty
Sexy.
one.
And before that, Neon Dreams. But man, she is killing it these days.
Yeah, she's got a good sound to her. All right, so we're gonna do a 1-2 punch here. We're gonna do one more track, and then we're gonna do our goodbyes, and then play one more track. I said that already, but that's where
By
we're
the way,
at.
shout out to Maze Runner, who tried to join the IRC, but couldn't.
Yeah,
Anyways, IRC's got issues.
it's got
But
problems.
anyways, here's the latest track from Memphis artist Cyber Optics. He stated in a Facebook post that he's moving on to game development because his music, he wanted to go to the next step and get it into video games or commercials and stuff like that. It's not happening, so he said, you know what, I'll start game development. So he's going to make his own game so he can put his own music into it.
That's one
So-
way to do it.
Let's hope there's more music still in the pipe. This is Cyber Optics with Dolphin High Five right here on Night Ride FM.
was Dolphin High Five. Dolphin High Five. It's a great name for a song by Cyber Optics. Cool track.
Quick shout out to Mike Templar who's joined us.
Hey, very nice.
Went and found the station on what is it? MyTuner-radio.
MyTuner.
Yeah. So, God, there might be people listening to us.
Maybe more people pirating our pirated signal from pirates.
Exactly.
And maybe pirates are listening to us right now as we speak.
Yar, me matey.
But this was great. This was a great show. Besides my dog barking, but that's just kind of like par for the course anymore.
Right.
That's
how it's done.
We're gonna put them on a vocoder a little bit later on, and it's gonna be a wonderful experience. And you guys can join in too. And it's gonna be a good time. This is the end of our show, and I've rambled on. And Jules, I think you've rambled on, and. Where do we go from here?
We are out of rambling.
We're out of gas, as they say.
Anyways, if you like Night Ride FM and you want to keep the music flowing, of course, you too can be a Patreon. You can head over to patreon.com/NightRideFM. Throw some bucks at Night Ride because poor Z has to pay the bills and keep the servers running.
Yep.
And the music running and fix IRC.
And fix the IRC.
Yep.
Mr. Z.
And of course, if you want to buy Dennis and myself a beer, or you want the transcripts from the shows, or you want to listen to the shows, you can head over to thestateofsynth.com. That's a hard one to remember.
Yeah.
And and I believe we're also getting rebroadcast by our friends down in New Zealand, Retro Hit Radio, which you can tune into at retrohitradio.co.nz. They play 24/7 synthwave just like we do.
And apparently MyTuner. So check out MyTuner.com or .org or
_radio.com.
_radiofm.zda. I don't know.
That.
Yeah. That's our show. Thank you so much for listening to the show. And tune in next week. We're going to have another awesome guest. And
what a big thanks to Beta Blocker.
Yeah.
Ryan and Chris for joining us.
Those guys are super cool. Great producers. We're going to make them put a Bandcamp up so we can buy all their stuff because we like to buy stuff.
Bandcamp.
All
right. We are going to play you guys out with the latest track from Swedish artist Atex. This is Copia Apocalyptica. From all of us here at Night Ride FM, have a great night.
And yeah, that's the end of our show. Goodbye. Goodbye.
103, yeah, that guy had a white baseball cap on. Not at the time, but he said they both say